What's up, gang? So tomorrow's Friday, and that means that we have a movement game or movement challenge in the works. This week's going to be a little bit different. It's more a multi-sensory game, so much as, or more so than it is a movement-specific game. It comes by way of Matthew Wegner. He passed this along to Audrey and I last week, and it's a game we tried playing together the other day. I thought it was kind of fun. I hope we explore it further. But the game works very simply. So there's going to be two people involved. One person is going to be set up with a piece of paper on their back. Maybe the movement challenge is get paper taped to your own back. That was pretty challenging. But there'll be one person with a piece of paper taped to their back. And then that person is going to be responsible for trying to draw what they think their partner behind them is drawing on their back. And so I'll post the original video that we saw here, but it will go something like this. So let's imagine I have a partner. Let's imagine Audrey and I are playing. She's going to start drawing something, and she can do as much or as little drawing as she'd like at any one time. But the idea is she wants to correctly communicate, or as best as she can, communicate what she's drawing on my back to me. So she's, I think, trying to do it as clearly as possible. But let's say that I, feel her draw something, and I'm like, okay, I imagine that that is a square that she just drew on my back. So I draw my best square. Then she does something else, and it feels like maybe there's a little bit of a kind of a point going on. And so I draw my best interpretation of what I think she's doing. And then she draws something else. I'm like, okay, I think I get the idea that this is starting to look like maybe a house. She adds a little bit more detail. I'm like, oh yeah, it's definitely a house. And then all of a sudden, she throws something in there. I'm like, well, that doesn't fit into my equation. There's a giant circle. Not quite exactly sure what that means. And it really doesn't matter so much what the drawings are here. It's just interesting to see what you feel, how that translates into what you think, and then what you draw. And it's just a fun game to see, like I said, where the hiccups in communication are, how off you are initially, and then maybe what kind of strategies you guys, you and your partner could employ to get better at the communication. I would be interested to see if anyone does explore this, what kind of rules they set up for transmitting language, information this way. It's almost like Pictionary in that sense. But go back and forth and maybe just take 15, 20 minutes. It is Friday, maybe after a few drinks, I don't know. It could be a fun little activity if you're having a Friday night at home or at a restaurant, I don't know. And just give this a shot. See how it goes, see how well you can pick up on things from like a multisensory standpoint, how you can transmit some information, and just explore the whole dynamic there going on. I think it's, like I said, very eye-opening just how difficult this is, but then also like a unique challenge to see about putting a language together that is better at communicating. This kind of reminds me of a good conversation I listened to where somebody was diving into Usain Bolt and how he was interested in what Usain Bolt would do before and after his races, in the sense that he's very theatrical. He would do things where it looked like he was growling like a lion, or maybe pretending to bite the other competitors. And then after the race is done, he has like the bow and arrow and the flexing. And rather than looking at it from the perspective that this is showboating or anything, he kind of posed the idea that maybe he's able to tap into like a more like emotionally charged or like sensationally their kind of I don't know if spirit's the word, but like more of him is involved in what's going on than just like the mechanics of left arm, left leg, right leg running. And maybe that could shed some light onto why he's able to be so great, why he's able to put some of this performance forward. So I just thought it was an interesting idea. Who knows, right or wrong? It was just like a fun thing to kind of chew on and use as a thought experiment. So these two things kind of reminded me of one another, and since Audrey and I played this the other day, I think it would be a fitting Friday movement game. So give it a shot. If you like it or if you found something interesting, pass it along. Let us know.